With the release of the Elden Ring Nightreign Forsaken Hollows DLC has come one of my favourite characters in the game, Scholar. His moveset is fun, he has massive build variety, his lore is cool, and he has one of the coolest mechanics in the game, item leveling. If you didn't know, Scholar has the passive Bagcraft, which allows him to store higher stacks of the same consumables and make said consumables more effective the more he uses them. For example, a fire pot base does 138 fire damage. If he hits an enemy with a pot consumable enough times, the pot category will level up to level 2, and now the fire pot does 234 base fire damage. And at level 3, it will spread fire in the area and have a knockback effect. Every single consumable fixed under a class that can be leveled up. Stone, pots, grease, food, etc. This had me wondering, if it wasn't already, is it possible to beat an expedition with only consumables? No damage from any weapon, no skills, and no ultimates. Only consumables. And I decided to include those plants you can find around as well, because they're basically just consumables that you can find on the ground, and all of them do something which a consumable already does. I also decided that I'd be allowed to pick up weapons to use their passives to increase damage or increase my defense, or give me any buffs as long as the passive isn't doing damage itself. My first attempt at this, I decided to do the Sentient Pest fight, as Gnosta has a 45% weakness to fire. Also, in their second phase, Gnosta sits on the bug, so fire pots will hit both of them. And since they both share a health bar, one fire pot would be doing damage to both Fartis and Gnosta, increasing the damage by a lot. I decided fire pots would be the best consumable to rely on, as they hit pretty hard and the merchants sell an infinite amount of them, besides the final day merchant, which only sells 4. I did use a relic that started me with a Wraith Calling Bell, but I didn't realize how powerful this item was yet. For now, that meant I started the round with 4 fire pods and a Wraith Calling Bell, but even with that, I still knew it was going to be a problem taking down enemies fast enough to level up. Even just a group of demi-humans were really annoying to take down. The problem was going to be gaining runes. Now that all my damage came from consumables, I would be spending a lot more runes at the merchant, as well as my speed of gaining runes had decreased from the less consistent damage. By the time the first circle had appeared, I was only level 2, which, to be fair, was fixed very quickly because I spent most of the first circle working on Banished Knights. Okay, level 5. It's not the worst, it could be way worse. But you just see how just taking out one group of Banished Knights takes so much effort. By the end of the first day, I was only level 6. Which isn't completely awful, but it's definitely not good. Oh, are you kidding me? And then finally, my lack of testing and research bit me in the ass, as I completely forgot that Smelter Demon is on this expedition. Smelter Demon is 70% resistant to fire damage, and the pots do 100% fire damage. So obviously, I was doing no damage.
Oh my god.
I assumed that this run was dead and I would just have to go back to the drawing board before I even made it to a Night Lord. But then I tried the Wraith Calling Bell.
What a Wraith Calling Bell? Wait. Maybe I should have taken that, because the Wraith Calling Bell does magic damage, doesn't it? So I should have taken that. I need to make sure every single one of these hit.
It was doing some solid damage, even at level 1. And I had 2 Starlight Shards in my inventory, which should have given me enough FP to beat it. But then I made a big mistake.
One Starlight Shard?
Accidentally consuming that second Starlight Shard was a really big mistake, since without it I wouldn't have enough FP to beat it. But I had a look on the map and I saw that there was a church nearby. If I could just get there, it would restore my FP to 4 and I could potentially find a Starlight Shard.
Okay then, the plan is to go run and grab items from this church, assuming it doesn't kill me. Why am I losing so much stamina so quickly, dude? Oh, because I'm in a fight.
As soon as I came back, the Smelter Demon had entered its blue fire phase, which stacked on top of the Nightreign damage, and that almost got me.
How did I manage to make it out of that? Holy shit.
I somehow managed to scrape a win off the Smelter Demon despite the huge mistake that I made. From this point on, I started utilizing the Wraith Calling Bell a lot more, because the damage is bonkers. I also got the Augur event, which was really lucky for this run because it makes your flask restore FP, which would be incredibly useful as it would give me FP for the Wraith Calling Bell.
Dude, who logs onto Elden Ring thinks, yes dude, I love playing against Real Revenant! When we pick target like Nox, like they're always gonna, okay, not almost always gonna, wait no, they literally circled back around to hit them. The tracking on these is crazy.
After beating the day 2 boss, I only ended up at level 10, but with a pretty stacked inventory and a Winding Grace. In terms of doing damage, it was totally possible, but the question was if I was good enough to beat the boss at level 10 without dying more than twice.
Oh, that's that magic resistant coming in.
Unfortunately, this boss is super resistant to magic, so the Wraith Calling Bell was not doing that much damage, but I needed to save my fire pots for the second phase.
No, they repelled one of the fire pots with their breath.
And the fire pots did do really good damage, but by the time I'd got into phase 2, I'd already lost a life and most of my flasks.
The freight train move. What are you supposed to do against this shit? Oh, I hate this boss so much. I hate this is the boss most weak to fire. But maybe like I should find the boss at least most weak to magic at this point. I assumed fire pots would be carrying, but at this point it's the Wraith Calling Bell. That magic resist is just playing against me. Oh dude, somebody really good at this game can do this easily. I thought this would be way harder.
So back to the drawing board it was. After some thinking, I decided to go for the Gaping Jaw Adele. Adele isn't massively resistant to fire, only 20%, but it has no resistances to magic, meaning the Wraith Calling Bell would do full damage. Also, the bosses on it were much better. The worst one being probably Duke's Dear Freya, who is weak to fire, but having to hit her head only would be pretty tough.
Tree Sentinel. Intriguing. Damn, the AI is smart in Elden Ring. It used to be way easier to group people up in Dark Souls. Oh, wait, no, it's a Valiant Gargoyle. Wait, these are hella weak to magic. It's like the only thing they're weak to. Yeah, the Valiant Gargoyles. Yes, holy shit, the damage. This is like the only thing they're weak to is how we won our randomizer, because they were so weak to magic.
Well, actually, the Valiant Gargoyles are not weak to anything technically. They are just least resistant to magic, which makes them look weak comparable to other types of damage.
Oh, the DPS, dude. Why does this tree that gives no runes hit for a ton of bricks?
If a tree fell on you, you'd expect it to hurt.
Yeah, but if I hit a tree with a magic ball, I'd also think the tree would hurt.
Well, no, it's a magical tree.
See, I'm clearly uneducated. There we go, dead tree. Finally. How many runes is that? Oh no, 49,000. That's not as bad. Oh, the frozen needle. That makes me want to hurt myself. Improved fire attack power though. I'll take it.
Why?
Because
is it bad? Isn't it like really good for Scholar?
a frozen needle is like the best like frozen inflicting weapon in Elden Ring.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah, and I can't use it because it's a
Oh, right.
consumable
because
only
you want
run.
the consumable.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna stop at this, the Wizard's Rise, because that will give me Starlight Shards. Every Starlight Shard you have, please. Only 2? Fuck off, Margit! That scared the shit out of me. Okay, Margit, first we have to get out of the storm, so please. But if he kills me, I think I get a permanent debuff. To something, like, whatever, for what it is, I forget.
You do, yes, you do. You just take increased damage, like a lot increased damage.
That's not good, I already have no health. That's my entire run. I hate this event so much. What do I even do? What do I even do? I think I'm kind of screwed right now. I'm going to be getting one shot by Adele, aren't I? So unpredictable, but if you're running a strength build, you just run through him. Oh my god, he one-shot me! Okay, well, Ancient Dragon's down, but it took all of my items, so I don't think it's possible. I'm like killing the enemies outside of the zone with the Wraith Calling Bell, just to try and get any extra runes I can get. I guess I don't know. Why am I weirdly hopeful? I'm just setting myself up for disappointment.
You're setting yourself up for success.
Wish I had your hope.
It ain't my run. That's why it's easy to have hope. It's my run. I'm uninstalling.
No, there's no way. He killed me already. Dude, it's so annoying because 4 has done like... Wait. That was insane damage. Wait. No way. What is the Wraith Calling Bell, dude? How much is an item you can start with? I have improved fire and improved pot damage, and the Wraith Calling Bell is in a single like attack doing the most of the damage that the fire pot was. But dude, the damage is just too much. If I hit him on the mouth, he takes so much damage. If I'm gonna win this, it has to be entirely. Never mind, I got grabbed. He heals from this, doesn't it? Yeah. One shot too. This has just proven to me that I can do it as long as I don't get Morgott raided. What? Guess that was just a doomed run. I started the run by going to a magic castle and grabbing a stone sword key, but I skipped the boss as Crystallians would be a pain in the ass to beat without a weapon. Just to get more Crystallians. Lovely. I managed to get one before leaving for the main castle to grind some runes, but I noticed that Libra was nearby, and I ended up taking the deal, which increases my intelligence. This, in hindsight, was a terrible idea. For some reason, I foolishly believed that the Wraith Calling Bell scaled with intelligence, and it does not. Raider will deal the same amount of damage with this as any other character does. So all I really did here was give myself a permanent nerf to my already small health bar. Unless I'm missing something, let me know in the comments. The day 1 boss was Gaping Dragon, which would normally be good, but for me, it was bad. Because I had a self-imposed rule, where I must quit a run if I kill Gaping Dragon on accident without doing the tail cut first. For some reason. I don't know why I still stick with this. I've genuinely thrown runs because of this. Anyways, I managed to do it. It was pretty easy. I took out the Ancient Heroes of More nearby and the Epijail. Then I moved on to another Epijail, and honestly, I prefer fighting Dragonkin Soldier this way, since the Wraiths track well and almost always hit the target properly, even though the Dragonkin Soldier can have some pretty janky hitboxes. After beating it, I deforested the area, and then I finished farming the castle trolls just in time before the storm came in. The day 2 boss was Ancient Dragon, which was ideal. Since the Wraiths have such accurate targeting, I could just target the head of the dragon, where it takes a lot of extra damage. Which means the Wraith Calling Bell just melts its health bar. A second one? Okay. No, I'm not complaining about this whatsoever. Oh, I'm complaining about this a lot. I hate Deathray Bird. Okay, to be fair, the head of the Deathray Bird is also a weak spot similar to Ancient Dragon, so it wasn't too bad and it gave me a ton of runes. Okay, 2 Wending Races, that's 3 revives. Level 13, which is really not bad by any means. Luckily, I'd found a few dormant powers which increased my health, so the nerf to it from the intelligence respec wasn't so bad. And now I had gotten used to Adele's attacks more and I was getting hit a lot less. Also, I had a very high FP bar, less FP consumed, a weapon passive that gave me FP restoration upon attacks, and another that increased magic damage. The Wraith's tracking was so good that Adele could do nothing to avoid the attacks. Whenever it summoned a Wraith, it was guaranteed 200 damage. And since Adele was a dragon, I'm pretty sure a hit to the head would do even more damage, similar to Ancient Dragon and other dragons in the game. And Adele has a big ass head. They don't call that jaw gaping for nothing. Just shut the fuck up. No matter how much damage I could get it to do, the Wraith Calling Bell had a slow startup animation and it consumed stamina. No matter how much damage I could get it to do, I couldn't change the fact that the Wraith Calling Bell had a slow startup animation and consumed a bit of stamina. The health bar is so small on Scholar that it really could have been over with just a few mistakes. Okay, really quickly, let's just break down why the Wraith Calling Bell is doing so much damage. So, the Wraith Calling Bell at level 1, no matter who's using it, does 153 damage per 6 FP. But obviously, Scholar can level it up. At level 2, it does 168 damage per 6 FP missile, and level 3, it does 200 damage per 6 FP missile. On top of this, I had a weapon passive, which was giving me 12% extra magic damage, which does affect the Wraith Calling Bell's damage. So, each Wraith was doing 224 damage per 6 FP. That is a Night Lord done. Consumables only. Genuinely, if you are really good at this game, I think every single Night Lord in this game is beatable consumables only, which is insane. Maybe the only exception being Dreadlord because of how tanky it is, plus the fact that it has 2 phases. I don't know. I'd be interested to see somebody prove it. I am not doing the Dragonlord fight. Consumables only. I'd rather pull my eyes out with a spoon.